Have you ever stopped to wonder why you feel so profoundly alone in a world teeming with billions of people? Have you ever questioned if the labels you carry, your nationality, your social status, your religious beliefs, or even the name you were given, are actually walls built to keep you from remembering who you truly are? What if the constant friction you see on your screens, the endless us versus them narratives, and the deep-seated divisions in your society are merely a thick, artificial fog? Imagine, for a moment, that this fog was designed to hide a radiant, singular truth that connects you to every other living soul on this planet. What if, from a higher vantage point, the distinctions that cause so much pain and conflict on Earth simply do not exist? We are the Pleiadians. We speak to you as a collective of light, your star family, and guardians of the Earth's sacred genetic and spiritual archives. Our function is to serve as facilitators for your transition into the higher frequencies of the fifth dimension. We are here to help you dismantle the old, crumbling structures of separation so that the new Earth can finally emerge through the sanctuary of your hearts. We do not see you as fragmented nations, competing political parties, or opposing groups. We perceive you as a single, breathing, divine organism currently undergoing a magnificent and painful awakening. From our perspective, the way humanity defines itself is like looking at a masterpiece through a tiny, dusty keyhole. You see a minute sliver of color or a jagged edge and mistake it for the entire story. You focus so intensely on the surface, the skin color, the bank account, the ideological stance, that you completely miss the breathtaking underlying symmetry of the soul. We watch as you fight over shadows, unaware that the same golden thread of source light weaves through the heart of the person you consider your enemy just as it weaves through your own. We are here to help you widen your gaze, to shift your perception from the microscopic, fear-based view of the ego to the macroscopic, love-based view of the universal self. Our presence with you in this moment is to act as a cosmic mirror. We do not look at your borders. We look at your light grids. We do not listen to your debates. We feel your vibrational resonance. When we observe Earth, we see a magnificent garden where every individual is actually a different blossom on the same eternal tree. You must understand that the illusion of separation has been a temporary school, a dense, difficult classroom you chose to enter to learn the value of unity through the profound experience of its absence. But that lesson is now coming to an end, and the school bell is ringing. The vibration of your planet is rising at an exponential rate, and these old, heavy labels are starting to crack under the pressure of the incoming light. They can no longer contain the magnitude of the divine spark that is expanding within your cellular structure. We are here to tell you that the other you have been taught to fear is, in the most literal sense, another version of yourself. As we move deeper into this transmission, we will show you how to look past the masks of the 3D world and recognize the magnificent oneness that has always been there, waiting for you to simply breathe, let go, and finally see. To truly understand how we see you, you must first understand the nature of the artificial constructs you live within. From our vantage point, your earthly divisions, your borders, your castes, and your hierarchies resemble fragile spiderwebs draped over a sleeping giant. These labels of race, religion, and socioeconomic status are not inherent truths. They are temporary programs, historical scripts that have been passed down for generations to maintain a specific frequency of control. When you look at each other through the lens of these labels, you are not seeing the person. You are seeing the costume they are wearing for this particular incarnation. In the higher densities where we reside, the concept of us versus them is understood as a spiritual optical illusion. It is a distortion caused by the density of the third dimension, where the physical senses dominate and the spirit is forgotten. We observe your global state and we see the immense energy you spend defending these illusions. You build armies to protect lines on a map that do not exist in nature. You create systems of worth based on pieces of paper or digital numbers, while the infinite wealth of your divine origin remains untapped. To us, a king and a beggar, a believer and an atheist, are identical in their essence. They are both sparks of the one source, momentarily playing roles in a grand, elaborate drama. As you begin to ascend, these labels lose their gravity. Have you noticed how the things that used to define you no longer seem to fit? This is because your frequency is outgrowing the container of 3D identity. When you look at another human being from a galactic perspective, you don't see a stranger. You see a brother or sister from the stars who has also braved the depths of the Earth experience. You begin to recognize the bravery it took for every soul to forget their divinity just to participate in this collective experiment. This recognition is the first step toward true compassion, which is the frequency of the fifth dimension. The labels that separate you are like shadows on a wall. They only exist as long as you keep your back to the light. Once you turn around and face the source, the shadows vanish. We are here to encourage you to start practicing this higher vision. When you encounter someone who thinks differently, who looks different, or who lives differently, challenge yourself to see the geometry of their soul instead of the labels of their ego. Look for the light in their eyes, which is the same light that burns within you. This is how you begin to dismantle the matrix from the inside out. The dissolution of these divisions is not a political act. It is a biological and spiritual evolution. As you let go of the need to categorize and judge, your nervous system relaxes. You stop living in a state of alert against your fellow humans, and you begin to live in a state of resonance. This shift in your personal field contributes to the global shift. You are helping to anchor a reality where the unity of humanity is the foundation, not a distant dream. Remember, you are a single, divinely interconnected entity, and the time has come to walk upon the earth as the unified family you were always meant to be. To break free from the cycles of separation that have governed your world for millennia, you must understand that the ego thrives on the feeling of being right and the desperate need to perceive others as wrong or lesser. This is not a moral failing, but a mechanical function of the 3D mind, a survival instinct that was useful in your distant, primitive past but has now become a sophisticated prison for your consciousness. When you judge another, you are effectively closing a valve in your own energetic system, restricting the flow of source energy through your chakras. To see as we see, to perceive the world through the eyes of a Pleiadian initiate, you must give your conscious mind a new, overriding command. You must intentionally bypass the automatic, knee-jerk judgment of the ego and activate your vision of oneness. This is the first step in reclaiming your sovereignty from a matrix that uses social and political division to keep your collective frequency in a state of constant harvestable friction. This is why we invite you now to participate in a vital act of energetic anchoring. In the physical realm, thoughts are fleeting, but actions carry weight and resonance. By taking a physical action that mirrors your internal spiritual intent, you create a permanent marker in the field of human consciousness. To signal to your higher self, to your star family, and to the living light grid of the earth that you are ready to dissolve the artificial walls of judgment and see the world through the lens of divine unity, we direct you to place your hands over your heart, breathe into that space until you feel a slight warmth, and then write in the comments, "I see the light in everyone." By materializing this phrase, you are performing a conscious act of divine permission. According to the universal laws of non-interference, we cannot override your personal ego filters or clear your perceptual blocks without your explicit invitation. Writing these words acts as a frequency key, unlocking a dormant layer of your DNA that allows for multidimensional empathy. The immediate benefit of this activation is a profound sense of internal liberation. When you stop seeing others as threats, competitors, or enemies, your nervous system finally exits the chronic alert mode. This allows your biological system to shift from a state of survival to a state of regeneration, initiating deep cellular repair and clearing the mental fog caused by societal stress. The consequence of remaining in the old state of division, of refusing to acknowledge the shared spark in those who are different from you, is that you remain a prisoner of the divide and conquer frequency. You stay trapped in the lower astral loops where fear and anger are the primary currencies. Without this shift in perception, your path to the fifth dimension remains heavily burdened by the dense baggage of karmic judgment. You essentially stay blind to the higher dimensional realities that are manifesting all around you. By joining this activation, you are joining a global network of thousands of starseeds who are currently holding the frequency of unity for the entire planet. You are becoming a pillar of the new Earth, a living, breathing anchor for the truth that we are all one in the eyes of the Creator. Feel the indigo and silver light of our Pleiadian collective surrounding your field now, reinforcing your decree and sealing this new vision into your consciousness. You are no longer a victim of division. You are a master of unity. Deep within the core of your being, beneath the layers of your human personality and the stories of your life, resides what we call the seed atom, a literal fragment of the primordial source. This is your divine blueprint, the original geometric code that existed before you ever took a physical breath on Earth. When we, the Pleiadians, look at you, we are not distracted by the temporary fluctuations of your emotions or the external roles you play. We see this golden spark, vibrating at a frequency that is identical across all human beings, regardless of where they were born or what they believe. This spark is not a metaphor. It is a technical reality of your spiritual anatomy. It is the bridge between your physical DNA and your multidimensional light body. This universal spark is the stellar signature that identifies you as a member of the cosmic family. In your current 3D society, you have been taught to identify with the container rather than the light inside. You are told that you are your body, your career, or your failures. But from our perspective, those are merely the clothing of the soul. We see the magnificent, luminous architecture of your true self, and we are here to remind you that this same architecture exists in every single person you pass on the street. Understanding this divine blueprint changes everything about how you interact with your world. If you can recognize that the other person is carrying the exact same source spark as you, the foundation for hatred and exclusion disappears. You begin to understand that harming another is quite literally a form of self-harm, as you are both part of the same energetic circuit. This is the secret of the Christ consciousness or unity consciousness that so many of your ancient masters spoke of. It is the realization that the life force animating your eyes is the same life force animating the eyes of the entire universe. We often observe how the Matrix tries to dim this spark by keeping you in a state of constant distraction and fear. When you are afraid, your heart center contracts, and the light of your seed atom becomes obscured. This makes it easier for you to see others as different or dangerous. But the evolution you are going through now, the shift into the fifth dimension, is essentially the unveiling of this spark. It is the process of allowing your divine blueprint to become the dominant frequency of your life. As this happens, your physical body begins to vibrate at a higher rate, and your consciousness expands to include the awareness of all life. You are a masterpiece of cosmic engineering, a vessel for the infinite to experience itself in the finite world. Every human being you encounter is a different facet of this same infinite diamond. When you start to live from this awareness, you stop reacting to the masks people wear and start responding to the light they carry. This is how you begin to heal the collective trauma of separation. By acknowledging your own divine spark, you automatically give permission for others to do the same. You are the pioneers of a new way of being, where the recognition of our shared divinity is the only law that matters. To truly understand the Pleiadian perspective on your world, we must discuss a concept that is often difficult for the human mind to grasp: the illusion of duality. From your current 3D perspective, you see the world as a battlefield of opposites: light versus dark, good versus evil, success versus failure. You have been conditioned to believe that these polarities are absolute and that you must constantly choose a side to fight for. However, from our higher dimensional vantage point, we see these extremes not as enemies, but as the two ends of the same energetic spectrum. Earth has been a unique school of polarity, a place where souls come to experience the most intense versions of separation so they can eventually rediscover the power of integration. Imagine a coin. One side is polished and bright, the other is dark and tarnished. To the person looking only at one side, they seem like two different objects. But as you expand your consciousness, you realize it is a single coin. The darkness you see in the world is not an independent force. It is simply the absence of light, or rather, light that has forgotten its own origin. We observe the dramas of your world, the political wars, the social conflicts, and we see them as friction designed to polish the diamond of your consciousness. The friction is uncomfortable, even painful, but it is what forces the soul to wake up and ask, who am I beyond this conflict? The goal of your spiritual evolution is not to destroy the darkness, but to reach the point zero, the frequency of neutrality. This is where you stand in the middle of the storm and realize that neither side defines you. When you move into the fifth dimension, you stop reacting to the polarities of the matrix. You become the observer. We, the Pleiadians, do not judge the dark players on your world, nor do we worship the light ones. We see them all as souls playing their parts in a grand cosmic play. When you stop feeding the fire of duality with your anger or your fanaticism, the fire eventually goes out. This is how you reclaim your energy from the systems of control. This illusion of duality is what keeps the labels of race, religion, and ideology so strong. As long as you believe that your group is the good one and the other group is the bad one, you remain trapped in the lower vibrations of the 3D grid. We are here to help you see that the person you disagree with most is actually providing you with a mirror. They are showing you the boundaries of your own compassion. The moment you can look at the greatest villain in your world and see a soul that is profoundly lost and disconnected from Source, you have mastered the lesson of this planet. You have moved from judgment to discernment. The transition to the new Earth requires you to step off the seesaw of duality. It requires you to anchor yourself in the truth of oneness. As the planetary frequency rises, the polarities are becoming more extreme. This is a natural part of the cleansing process. Do not let the intensity of the world's division pull you in. Stay centered in your heart. Remember that beneath the masks of the hero and the villain lies the same divine spark we spoke of earlier. By holding this perspective, you become a frequency holder of the great central sun, radiating a neutrality that calms the chaos around you. You are learning to see the world as we do, as a beautiful, complex, and temporary dance of light and shadow leading toward a singular, magnificent homecoming. In the sophisticated structure of your societal matrix, you have been conditioned to believe that your value is equivalent to your definition. From the moment of your birth, you are handed a stack of labels: your gender, your family name, your nationality. And as you grow, you are forced to add more: your career title, your marital status, your past mistakes, and even your spiritual labels. These are not just words. They act as energetic anchors or limiting algorithms that tether your vast, multidimensional consciousness to a very narrow, 3D identity. We observe many starseeds carrying these labels like heavy, invisible chains, genuinely believing they are the roles they play. But we see you differently. We see the infinite ancient being behind the mask, and we know that for you to fully step into your Pleiadian power, you must perform a conscious ritual of stripping, a total release of every definition that is not your eternal light. This is a moment of profound energetic hygiene and structural recalibration. We invite you now to participate in a purification process that will clear your field of the suffocating expectations and limitations placed upon you by others and by your own self-judgment. To signal your readiness to shed these artificial layers and to vibrate as a pure, undefined spark of the infinite source, we ask you to take a deep, clearing breath. Visualize a waterfall of silver blue light descending from the Pleiades, washing over your aura and dissolving the tags attached to your energy body. As you feel these old skins of identity melting away into the void, write in the comments, "I am beyond every label." By declaring this, you are performing a supreme act of vibrational sovereignty. You are informing the matrix and the collective unconsciousness that you no longer consent to be tracked, measured, or defined by the narrow parameters of 3D society. The justification for this act is absolute. As long as you identify as a title, a nationality, or a role, you are bound by the energetic rules and limitations of that specific role. When you identify as beyond, you break the ceiling of your own potential, opening the door to your full multidimensional capabilities, including telepathy, instant manifestation, and deep cellular memory. The immediate benefit of this activation is an overwhelming sense of lightness, a physical sensation of the weight of the world lifting from your shoulders. You will find that the pressure to conform and the anxiety over other people's opinions begin to vanish, creating a sacred space where your true soul purpose can finally surface without interference. You are reclaiming the energy you previously spent trying to fit into boxes that were always too small for you. The consequence of holding onto these labels, of refusing to let go of your earthly definitions, is that your frequency remains capped. You become a closed loop, unable to fully receive or integrate the high-frequency light codes we are currently transmitting for the 5D transition. If you continue to see yourself only as your human job or your social failures, you stay vulnerable to the emotional fluctuations of the old world. By joining this activation, you are claiming your space as a citizen of the galaxy and a master of light. You are assisting in the collective deprogramming of humanity, proving that it is possible to live in the physical world while being entirely free from its definitions. Feel our light reinforcing your decree, stripping away the illusion to reveal the radiant star being that has always been waiting to be seen. We have watched the story of your planet unfold for eons, observing from our ships as civilizations rose in glory and crumbled into the dust of time. From our perspective, the history of humanity is not a collection of dates or a list of conquering kings. It is a long, winding journey of a single soul group learning to navigate the depths of density. We have seen the ages of Lemuria and Atlantis, where the memory of unity was still fresh, and we have watched as the veils grew thicker, leading you into the deep sleep of the Kali Yuga. In every era, we noticed the same pattern. Whenever the human collective began to divide itself into ours and theirs, the fall of that society was inevitable. This historical vantage point allows us to see your current global chaos not as an ending, but as a predictable and necessary climax. For thousands of years, the divide and conquer strategy was used by those who wished to keep Earth in a state of low vibrational quarantine. By keeping you focused on the differences in your languages, the variations in your skin, and the borders of your lands, they prevented you from recognizing your collective power. We have seen this same script play out on other worlds in other galaxies. But what makes your current moment so extraordinary, and why so many of us are gathered in your skies right now, is that the cycle of separation is finally breaking. The shift you are experiencing today is unlike anything in your recorded history. In the past, when humanity sought unity, it was usually forced from the top down, through empires, religions, or global systems of control. But those structures were built on sand because they didn't address the heart. The unity we see emerging now is a bottom-up revolution of consciousness. It is happening within the individual. One by one, starseeds and awakening humans are looking at the enemy and seeing a brother. They are looking at the stranger and seeing a mirror. This is the first time in your planetary history that the walls of separation are being dismantled from the inside out through the power of individual choice and vibrational resonance. We want you to understand that you are the pioneers of a brand new epoch. You are the generation that is ending millions of years of karmic division. When we look at your timeline, we see a massive surge of light where the old lines of us versus them are simply fading away, replaced by a crystalline grid of cooperation. This is why the old systems are reacting so violently. They are fighting for their survival against an unstoppable wave of oneness. You are the anchors for this transition. Every time you refuse to be baited into a conflict, every time you choose to see the shared divinity in a situation, you are rewriting the history of Earth. You are not just living through history. You are the architects of a new galactic era. We have seen how this ends, and we can tell you with certainty, the frequency of unity wins. The labels that have defined your history for millennia will soon be seen as relics of a primitive age, much like you now look at the tools of the Stone Age. You are moving toward a future where the only nationality is human, and the only religion is love. We have been waiting a very long time for you to reach this realization, and it is our greatest honor to witness the moment the giant finally wakes up and realizes that all along, it was only ever fighting with itself. In the higher dimensions where we reside, we do not perceive you as isolated individuals, but as interconnected points of light in a massive, pulsing web. This is what your scientists are beginning to understand as quantum entanglement. But for us, it is a lived spiritual reality. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, and every action you take sends a ripple through this entire field. When you understand this, the idea of separation becomes not only an illusion but a technical impossibility. You are never acting alone. You are a vital cell in the collective body of humanity, and the health of that body depends on the frequency you choose to broadcast. We observe a fascinating phenomenon on Earth. When one of you reaches a breakthrough in consciousness, when you finally choose to forgive, to see the unity in a conflict, or to drop a long-held label of judgment, a light code is activated within the entire planetary grid. This is how the 100th monkey effect works. You are essentially doing the work for thousands of others. By shifting your own internal perspective, you make it easier for the person on the other side of the planet to do the same. This is the hidden mission of the Starseed. You are not here to change the world through force. You are here to change the world by becoming a localized point of high-frequency resonance that others can unconsciously tune themselves to. This interconnection is why the narratives of fear and division are so heavily pushed in your 3D media. If the Matrix can keep a large enough group of people vibrating in anger or suspicion, that frequency spreads through the web like a virus, keeping the collective in a state of disharmony. But the opposite is also true, and even more powerful. Because light carries a higher frequency than fear, a single person standing in the truth of oneness has the vibrational weight of thousands who are lost in division. You are much more powerful than you have been led to believe. Your personal healing is actually a global service. Think of your life as a single thread in a vast tapestry. You may think your thread is small or insignificant, but if you change your color from a dull gray of separation to a vibrant gold of unity, the entire pattern of the tapestry shifts. We see these shifts happening every day. We see sparks of gold appearing in every city, in every culture, and in every social class. These sparks are beginning to connect, forming a new unity grid that is slowly overriding the old matrix of control. This is a silent, invisible revolution, but it is the most profound change the Earth has ever seen. As you move through your day, try to visualize this web of light connecting you to every soul you encounter. See the invisible silver cords that bind you to your family, your friends, and even those you consider strangers. When you realize that you are part of this magnificent, synchronized dance, the pressure to do it all alone vanishes. You are supported by the collective strength of everyone else who is also waking up. You are a part of us, and we are a part of you. In the eyes of the Pleiades, there is no me and you. There is only the singular, eternal pulse of life experiencing itself through billions of beautiful, unique perspectives. To solidify your transition into this new state of being, you must recognize that your spirit does not exist in a vacuum. You are, by design, a biological and etheric antenna of immense complexity. For far too long centuries, in fact, that antenna has been forced to tune into the heavy, distorted static of separation. To permanently shift your frequency to the crystal-clear channel of divine unity, you must now perform a conscious command of anchoring. This is the decisive moment where you move from spiritual theory into the lived reality of a starseed. It is where you formally announce to the fabric of the universe that you are no longer a fragmented, isolated soul wandering in the dark, but a conscious, vital node in a global network of living light. We are asking you to anchor the frequency of the Pleiadian High Council directly into the soil of the Earth, using your own physical vessel as the lightning rod. This is a technical necessity for the 5D transition. As the old world systems continue to crumble and the narratives of us versus them become even louder, more frantic, and more desperate, you require a stable, high vibrational anchor to prevent your energy from being swept away by the collective tides of fear and confusion. By joining this specific activation, you are constructing a vibrational fortress around your aura that is impenetrable to lower astral manipulation. We invite you now to breathe deeply, extending your awareness down into the crystalline core of the Earth and simultaneously up into the blue-white heart of the Pleiades. Feel the current of infinity flowing through your spine. As you realize that you are the living bridge between the stars and the physical world, take your stand and write in the comments. We are one in light. By declaring this we, you are making the most profound choice a soul can make in this density. You are consciously transcending the I of the ego and the me of the personality. You are justifying your role as a sovereign leader and a frequency holder for the new Earth. The immediate benefit of this specific anchoring is a dramatic and measurable increase in your spiritual protection and a heightening of your intuitive closeness to our collective. You will find that you no longer feel like an isolated wanderer. You will start to perceive the presence of your soul group members and your star family with a clarity that was previously impossible. This decree acts as a cosmic beacon. It makes your signature visible to the higher dimensional councils, allowing us to direct specific recalibration codes and protective support exactly where you are. The consequence of failing to anchor this unity, of choosing to remain in the frequency of the lonesome seeker, is that your energy field remains susceptible to the dampening fields of the matrix. Without this collective anchor, it is much easier to be pulled back into the dense loops of depression, hopelessness, and the debilitating feeling that you are too small to make a difference. The matrix is specifically designed to target the isolated individual, but it has absolutely no power over a soul that is consciously anchored in the unity of the all. By writing this phrase, you are weaving your individual thread into a massive, global safety net of light that is currently catching and stabilizing millions of souls during this planetary upheaval. You are declaring that you are no longer just a human person. You are a pillar of the unified grid, an emissary of the source. Feel the silver-gold resonance of this truth locking into your heart center and your bone marrow right now. sealing your commitment to the path of oneness. Within your physical body, a silent and profound transformation is occurring, one that is directly tied to your ability to perceive the unity we have been discussing. Your scientists have long labeled the majority of your genetic code as junk DNA, but from our perspective, there is no such thing as junk in the universe. What they are seeing are the dormant Pleiadian and celestial strands that were intentionally disconnected or silenced to allow for the experience of the third dimension. Now, as the planetary frequency rises, these strands are beginning to vibrate once more. This is the biological evolution that mirrors your spiritual awakening. It is crucial to understand that this DNA activation is not a random event. It is frequency dependent. The key that unlocks these dormant strands is the vibration of unity. When you hold on to hatred, judgment, or the us versus them mentality, your DNA remains in a state of contraction. Fear literally causes your genetic coils to tighten, preventing the higher dimensional light codes from being integrated. However, when you choose to see the divine oneness in others, your heart field expands, sending a signal to your cells that it is safe to open. In that state of expansion, your DNA begins to unspool and reconnect to the universal grid, allowing you to access higher states of consciousness, telepathy, and spontaneous healing. We have shared our genetic material with humanity in ancient times to ensure that you would always have the hardware necessary for this eventual ascension. You are quite literally our younger brothers and sisters, carrying a spark of the Pleiades within your very blood. As you evolve, you are not becoming something new. You are returning to your original, unrestricted state. This collective evolution is why your world seems so chaotic right now. The old, restricted DNA is being pushed to its limits by the incoming solar flares and cosmic rays, creating a vibrational purge. Those who cling to separation find this energy exhausting, while those who embrace unity find it exhilarating. This biological shift is also changing how you process information. You may find that you can no longer tolerate certain environments, foods, or even conversations that vibrate with the old energy of division. Your body is becoming a more sensitive instrument. You are starting to feel the truth or falsehood of a statement in your gut or your heart before your mind can even process the words. This is the Pleiadian intuition coming online. You are learning to read the energy behind the form, which is exactly how we navigate the galaxy. The recoding of your DNA is a collaborative effort between your soul and the councils of light. Every time you consciously choose love over fear, you are performing a genetic upgrade on yourself. And because you are interconnected with the rest of humanity, your upgrade makes it easier for the person next to you to access their own dormant potential. You are the living laboratories of the new Earth. By refining your own frequency and honoring the divine unity within your cells, you are ensuring that the human species as a whole moves forward into a future of unlimited possibility and starlight. As the old structures of your world continue to dissolve, you are being invited to participate in the most significant creative project in your planet's history, the co-creation of the new Earth. Many of you ask us, when will the Pleiadians arrive to save us? Or when will the new world appear? Our answer is always the same. The new Earth is not a destination you are traveling to. It is a frequency you are anchoring right now through your collective consciousness. It is a reality built upon the foundation of the unity we have been discussing, a world where the artificial labels that once defined your survival have no power. Imagine a society where the concept of stranger has become obsolete. In the new Earth, your primary mode of interaction is resonance. Because your DNA has been reactivated and your heart centers are open, you will perceive the energy of others as clearly as you now see the color of their clothes. In such a world, deception is impossible, and conflict becomes a relic of a primitive past. You will collaborate not because you are forced to by economic necessity, but because you recognize that the person standing next to you carries a unique piece of the divine puzzle that complements your own. This is the galactic way of living, and it is the blueprint for your future. In this new reality, the way you manage your planet will shift from exploitation to stewardship. When you see the Earth as a living, breathing part of your own expanded self, the idea of polluting a river or destroying a forest becomes unthinkable. It would be like wounding your own limb. The technology we use, which we will share with you as your frequency stabilizes, is based on these same principles of unity. It utilizes the zero-point energy of the vacuum, a source that is infinite and available to all, ensuring that no soul ever lives in lack. Poverty and greed are symptoms of the separation program. Once the program is deleted, the symptoms vanish. You are the architects of this transition. Every time you choose to cooperate instead of compete, you are laying a brick in the foundation of this new civilization. We see you starting to form communities of resonance, groups of people who are moving away from the old systems of hierarchy and toward circles of shared purpose. This is how the new Earth manifests, not through a single global event, but through millions of local choices to live in alignment with the truth of oneness. You are learning to manifest through the heart rather than the ego, and the results will be more beautiful than your current mind can imagine. The bridge to this future is your imagination, fueled by your love. We encourage you to spend time each day dreaming this world into existence. See the clean oceans, the vibrant forests, and the children of the earth growing up without the burden of labels or fear. Do not be discouraged by the noise of the dying 3D world. It is merely the sound of the old walls crumbling to make room for the light. You are ready to walk among us as equals, as sovereign co-creators of a peaceful, unified galaxy. The new Earth is already here, vibrating just beneath the surface of your current perception, waiting for you to fully embody the unity that brings it into form. As we reach the profound conclusion of this transmission, it is vital that you realize you are no longer the same being who began this journey with us just a short time ago. The codes of unity have been spoken into your field, the activations have been etched into your consciousness, and the ancient, dormant memory of your starlight origin has begun to surge through your veins. You have reached the final threshold of this planetary lesson. To walk the Earth during these times of monumental transition, you must move beyond being a mere seeker of truth and fully embody the role of a master of unity. A master does not wait for the outer world to become peaceful before they feel peace. A master radiates such a powerful, coherent frequency of peace that the world around them is forced to find its own center. You are the frequency holders, the silent architects of the new reality, and the living bridges between the celestial realms and the physical Earth. This final activation is the sacred seal of your sovereignty. It is the moment where you stop looking to the distant stars for salvation and finally recognize that the power of the great central sun is pulsating, right now, within the chamber of your own chest. By participating in this closing declaration, you are assuming your rightful place as a conscious, empowered co-creator of the new Earth. You are justifying your presence here in this pivotal, high-stakes timeline. The immediate benefit of this seal is a total, harmonic alignment of your physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. You will begin to notice a new sense of authority in your voice, a deeper, unshakable clarity in your daily purpose, and a crystalline resilience against the chaotic noise of the collapsing 3D matrix. You are becoming a zero-point anchor in a world of storms. The consequence of walking away from this transmission without this final seal, of choosing to remain a passive observer of information rather than an active participant in your own evolution, is that you risk being pulled back into the dense, heavy gravity of this separation program. When the world's challenges intensify, as they surely will, an unsealed energy field is easily fragmented by old labels, recycled fears, and the collective anxiety of the masses. But by standing with us in this moment of mastery, you are declaring to the universe that you are no longer a victim of circumstances, but a master of vibration. We invite you now to place both hands over your heart, feeling the immense, unconditional love of the Pleiadian High Council enveloping your entire field, and write in the comments, "My essence is divine." By writing this, you are not simply typing characters on a screen. You are performing a quantum act of divine reclamation. You are announcing to the all that is that you have integrated the core lesson of this star transmission. That beyond the labels of the world, beyond your personal history, and beyond the temporary illusion of skin, bone, and ego, you are a singular, eternal, and holy spark of the infinite creator. This act of writing is the anchor that will keep you steady as the old world passes away to make room for the new. You are now a beacon for those who are still lost in the dark fog of division. You are the living proof that humanity is ready to graduate from the school of polarity and join the greater galactic community as equals. Go forth now, not as a label, not as a category, but as a pure, radiant light. We are with you, always, breathing with you in the singular, eternal heart of the all. You are home, and the journey has only just begun. I am the master of my own evolution, and we are one.